It's been a while since the last video. It was August last year. It's the end of April 2022 and this is the third season with Sula. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more adventurous this year, try and get out of the Clyde, because I spent really all of last season in the Clyde. So it'll be nice to try and get out round the Mull of Kintyre, explore Islay, Jura, Gia, maybe even a bit further afield. And to do that I really just need a bit more practice of longer days and probably windier conditions as well. So this weekend the wind is going to be quite good, I think about 20 knots. It's blowing out there at the moment, Friday night. And I'm planning on going round Arran, 65 nautical miles from Largs, so just out and round Arran in a day. Probably about 12 or 13 hours, just depending on speed, and it will be fairly windy and fairly choppy sea, I would imagine, so quite a good practice. Hopefully that goes well, and then in the next few weeks I'll try and get out round to Islay. So early start tomorrow and looking forward to it. Let's see how we get on. Right, we've made it out the marina. It is about 20 knots, so the apparent wind speed at the moment, which is slightly behind us, is 18, so it must be just sitting about 20, slightly over 20. And I'm going to put the main sail up now. I think I'll put at least 2 reefs in just now and see how that goes, maybe even 3. Get the main sail up and then we'll turn south and head down towards Arran. Quite rough really, it's just the wind. Well, we're coming down past Holy Isle, and then hopefully when we turn into the Kilbrannan Sound it's going to be a bit more sheltered. Get some food and things. See on the chart there, we're just coming past Holy Isle. Down round the wee island at the bottom is called Pladda. moved a little bit, which is making it more pleasant. It's amazing, the waves in the water has just settled almost immediately as soon as the wind dropped. There's still a bit of chop, but it definitely just settled, so much more relaxing. But our speed has reduced, so we're at 5 knots now instead of 7.5. I could put more sail up, but I'm going to wait for just now, just in case it picks back up again. That is Pladda Lighthouse. So that is the southeast tip of Arran. And then Lochranza here. Just coming along the south coast of Arran at the moment, and actually the water coming round Pladda Island was very interesting. It was very, very rough. I think it's because it was quite shallow, a shallow area. It was about 10 metres, and yeah, the waves were massive actually, even in this 38-foot boat, which is pretty big. It was yeah, all over the place. We were going to be sheltered in the Kilbrannan Sound, but it's blowing 25 knots again. The wind's really picked up, so it's quite interesting. Doing about 7 knots. Furled the Jenny. Coming to the top of the Kilbrannan Sound, not far to Lochranza, and that was a real struggle actually. It was really, really windy. Lochranza is just around that corner. So I had a wee issue with the jib. I was putting it away and basically the furling line came off, so I've ended up just dropping it, putting it in the bow cabin. But again, that was a bit tricky in the high winds. Nearly at Lochranza. Just coming into Inchmarnock water. Not long to go, maybe 3 hours. And it's 6:15. Is the northwest corner of Arran. In for some porridge. Fell over there, looking really nice in the evening light. getting a wee bit dark now. It's still blowing quite windy, about 20 knots. And we're coming into the channel to Largs. Going to pass 2 red cans on port and 1 green can on starboard, and then we will be at the marina entrance. Hopefully I can find my berth. It's proper dark now. Just coming up to the marina entrance, about 500 metres. Should be a green can to just slightly to starboard. There it is. Just got back into the berth at Largs, so 10:15. It was 13 hours. It was a little bit more than I had expected. The wind was blowing 30 knots, and it was really tough actually, quite challenging just being on your own. But I loved it, really good. I think it's a good confidence builder. Look forward to the next one. Cheers.